Hello viewers, I trust you're having a good day. Alright, today the video is about the laws of logarithm. Laws of logarithm. It's a concept in secondary school mathematics, and in fact, one of the elementary topics you are going to take in the higher institutions. So, we have some set of laws or rules, if you like, of logarithms. And these laws, I like to start them with the definition. So what is the definition of logarithm? The definition says if log a to base x equals b, then this x raised to power b, which is after the equal sign, will be equal to a. If log a to base x equals to b, then x raised to power b equals to a. That's the definition of logarithm. But I like to call it the very first law of logarithm in my own case. So if you look at what I have on the board, where I have 1 to 6 laws, but of course there are 7 laws, because this logarithm is also very important when we want to evaluate questions involving logarithm, as you have some of them on the board already. Okay, so we are going to run through the laws very quickly. Law number 1 says log a to base x plus log b to base x equals to log a multiplied by b having common base x. So this law is applicable only when the bases are exactly what? The same. Law number 2 is just like law number 1, but the only difference is that instead of having plus in between them, it's now having minus. And of course, after the equal sign, it is division. Okay, law number 3 is log a to base a equals 1. What does this mean? Log of any number to same base is always going to give you 1. For example, log 2 to base 2 will be 1. Log 7 to base 7 will be 1. Log 49 to base 49 will be 1. Log 523 to base 523 will also be 1. That's what that law is saying. Law number 4, very quickly. Log of 1 to any base, irrespective of whatever the base is, will always be equals to 0. For example, log 1 to base 7 will be equals to 0. Log 1 to base 13 will be equals to 0. Log 1 to base 42 will also be equals to 0. That's law number 5. Law number 6 says log a raised to power b to base x. What happens? This b, which is the power, comes behind to come and multiply b log a to base x. That's law number 5. The power comes behind to come and multiply the log completely. And law number 6 is closely related to law number 5. Now the difference between law number 5 and law number 6 is that it is the number that is carrying the power in law 5. But in law number 6, it is the base. You can see base x here is the one that is carrying the power in this case. So what happens when the base is the one carrying the power? The base, the power still comes behind, but instead of multiplying the log as b directly, is going to multiply the log as 1 over b. So that's why we're having 1 over b log a to base x. So these are the laws of logarithms included in definition. So we have these 3 questions with which we are going to solve and see how these laws are applied. All you need to do when you are given any question, look for any law that can help you to solve that question and apply the law, and you are good to go. So we have question number 1. It says evaluate log 62 to base, log 64 to base 2. Now if we have log 64 to base 2, you look through the laws, look for anyone that can help you to solve it. If you like, you can make use of the definition. It can help you to solve this particular question. But I don't want to go through the definition. There is another method I want to go through. So if we have log 64 to base 2, what is that going to give to us? So I'm going to express 64 to a particular base carrying some power. And what is that going to be? The simplest number in the family of 64 is 2. So this log 64 can be written as log 2 to the 6th power, because 2 raised to power 6 is going to give us 64. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32, 32 times 2 is going to be 64. So 2 to the raised to power of 6 equals to 64. And of course, it's going to have the same base of what? 2. Now, if we have log 2 raised to power 6 to base 2, according to one of the laws there, something has to happen to this power 6. And that is according to law number 5. The power comes behind to become 6 log 2 to base 2. So we're having 6 log 2 to base 2 is going to be equal to 6, which is what we have here. Now, log 2 to base 2 resembles one of the law that we have there, and that is law number 3. Okay, so that is 6 multiplied by log 2 to base 2 is actually going to give us 1. So 6 times 1 is going to be equal to what? 6. So that is question number 1. Question 2. Simplify log 243 to base 27. So there we have it. Alright, so we are going to simplify log 243 to base 27. Then, with a critical look or a careful look at 243 and 27, they both belong to the family of 3. Excuse me. They both belong to the family of 3. Okay, so this can be written as log 243 can be written as 3 raised to power 5, and 27 can be written as 3 raised to power 3. Why? Because 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27. That already gives us this. Then 27 times 3 is 81, 81 times 3 is 243, and that is the representative of 243 as 3 raised to power 5. And when we look at this, it looks like law number 5 and law number 6. So we are going to be combining law 5 and 6 to solve this particular question. Okay, so we'll proceed as follows. When 5 comes behind, it becomes 5 log 3 to base 3 raised to power 3. It means that we have dealt with this power using law number 5. What is next is to deal with the power of the base. And to do that, we are going to have to use law number 6. And so if this is coming behind, it becomes 1 over 3, talking about this 3, multiplied by 5 log 3 to base 3. It means that this power 3 has been dealt with to give us 1 over 3, going by what we have in law number 6. Okay, so this 5 is a whole number, so it means that it can have a denominator of 1. And in that situation, what are we having? 1 times 5, that's going to be 5. 3 times 1, that's going to be what? 3. And then multiply by, what is log 3 to base 3? Of course, that is law number 3. Log 3 to base 3 is going to be equal to 1. So when we have 5 over 3 multiplied by 1, we'll be having 5 over 3 as the solution. So that is solution to question 2. We'll proceed. 3. Without using tables, simplify log 2 to base 4 plus log 32 to base 4 minus log 0.25 to base 4. Okay, so taking a good look at this, we can see that each of these logarithm, all of them are having the same base. So we can combine them using law 1 and law 2 because we're having both addition and subtraction. Okay, so we'll be having them as log the same base of 4, 2 multiplied by 32 divided by 0.25, and is what we have. Okay, so we can simplify further to have log still to base 4, 2 multiplied by 32, that's going to be 64. 64 divided by 0.25 decimal can be expressed as a fraction, an exact fraction, as 25 over 100. And when reduced to the lowest term, 5 here, 5, 5 in 100 is 20, 5 in 5, 1, and 5 in 20 is going to be what? 4. Okay, so proceed to the other side of the board. It means that we are having log to base 4 as we have it here, of 64 divided by 1 over 4. Having simplified 0.25 as an exact fraction and reduced to the lowest term. So we're having it as 1 over 4. Okay, so we'll proceed further again to have log to base 4. 64, division changes to multiplication. As a result of that, we are going to be having this as 4 over 1. Okay, so we have log 64 multiplied by 4, of course, is going to give us 256, and that's to base 4. Okay, 256 is in the lineage of 2. 4 is also in the lineage of 2. So we can have them both as log 2 to the 8th power. 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8 times 2, 16 times 2, 32 times 2, 64 times 2, 128, then times 2, 256. So 2 to the 8th power gives us 256. And of course, 4 is 2 raised to power 2. Okay, we can see law number 5 and law number 6 coming up again. In that situation, 8 comes behind to become 8. Multiply by this 2, which is the power, comes behind to become 1 over 2 because it's the power of the base. And then multiplying what we'll be having left there is now going to be log 2 to base 2. So 8 times 1 over 2, this is a fraction having a denominator of 1. 2 here, 1. 2 in 8 is going to be 4. So 4 times 1 is going to be 4. Multiply by log 2 to base 2. That's law number 3. Log 2 to base 2 is going to be 1. And 4 times 1 is going to be what? 4. So that is what we have with those 3 questions. I believe you enjoy it. So take your time, go through them. If there is any aspect of it that you do not understand, feel free to reach out to me in the comment section, and I will do well to attend to your questions. Thank you.